Sora 2 videos have been taken over social media. I've seen loads of brilliant examples. It's now available in n8n. In this video I'm going to go over how you can make these videos on autopilot for yourself inside n8n. Just to have a look at some examples first. I started off with UGC influencer style videos, and then I thought I'd have a bit of fun, change the prompt, and then make some of the funnier clips that we've been seeing going across social media. But just to take a look at some of the examples.
Every day, I can take your product, but do not have the time to film, edit, caption, all the things. I got you. This is enough. You do not need a studio or 10 different angles. One good photo, one solid angle, and you can batch out a week's worth of TikTok clips in like an afternoon. Seriously.
And then the prompt that we've got loaded in n8n at the moment's created these ones.
Whose grandma is hacking reality?
So, grandma escapes the Matrix.
Got to keep you kids out of trouble.
Dude, that cat is a wanted fugitive. Is that a golden retriever with a mayor badge?
Yep, His Honor, Mayor Barkley. Try not to wag at him.
He's got better posture than half the council.
And he never vetoes belly rub.
Here's the workflow. If you had an idea of the videos that you were wanting to create, you could spend a bit more time refining that. What we've got here at the moment. And we'll have a look at the prompt in a moment where you could change and refine things. We've got execute on a click. I'll just set that up that way when I'm testing. If you wanted to make this on autopilot, you could just get the schedule trigger, set the interval you were looking to, drag that over to the start, and then you could have this run automatically. What's happening is actually getting its idea. So with the first node, we've got a Google Sheet node, and this is pulling, like on this one, the video preference was dog becomes a mayor. I've got a spreadsheet where you can load all of your different ideas in there, and I just did some random ones for experimenting. If you wanted to, if you had an idea of the sort of content that you were wanting to make, then you could refine that. Yeah, Google Sheet node, and if you're going to set this up for yourself, first thing you'd need to do is set up your Google credential. If you've used Google inside n8n before, that's great, you will know what to do. If you haven't and you are setting that up for the first time, when you click on here and click create new credential, and then you'll follow along on this setup. I've actually made some videos on this previously. There's 2 different videos if you have a look on the YouTube channel. One of them I've got is how to set up the credential, and that's setting that up, like connecting n8n with your Google. There's a few things you need to do on Google side, and then a few things to do within n8n. And the other one is if you're going to be using templates and like how you would set this sheet up. For this one, I selected the Google Sheet where that stuff lives. I'll show you that in just a sec. The sheet, and then what happens is it's looking for the production status and looking for the value as for production, and then only returning the first matching row. And here's what that looks like inside that sheet. So on here, and it's just updated from the last one. If we wanted to run this one, we would just select for production and then click to get that started, and it would run through the alien applies for a job at Starbucks. And like I say, these are just random ideas. I had ChatGPT just spit some stuff out. I wanted to see how well Sora worked. Oh, just in the sheet as well. So what happens then, once the workflow is run, it then returns the URL. Then inside our agent, a couple of things going on here. We've got the information then from the spreadsheet. In our user message, we've got create video prompts by your system guidelines, and now that's the dynamic value that's coming from here, dog becomes mayor. You can see that's on the output side. And then we've got the system message. And what I'll do, feel free to copy this, just pause the video, I won't read all the way through it. What I would do if you had an idea of the type of videos that you wanted to make, or just copy that, drop it into ChatGPT, and then get ChatGPT to refine it but keep the same output. If you let ChatGPT know that you still want the same output format, so it's formatted like this, but you want to make a different type of video, it might take you a few attempts, but usually that's the best way of doing it. Test it out a few times and refine it until you get the output that you're wanting. The next node, and this is where we actually access Sora. So we're going to do that via a HTTP request that's going through Kie.ai. Kie.ai, if you haven't used that before, let me get that up for you. Kie.ai have loads of different models that you can connect to, an API platform, so you can connect to a lot of different models like VO3, different image models. And then on Sora we've got text to video, image to video, and then we've got the pro versions as well. We also removes the watermark. If feel free, you can have a read through the API documentation on here. If you're going to run this workflow, you will need an account with them. If you've never set up with Kie.ai before, I've got a video, just so if you search through the videos that I've got on my main YouTube, then you'll be able to find that. And it explains how to set up your credential. Essentially, you start here, click create new credential, you set up your Kie.ai account. And then what we do, we just select the Kie.ai credential from the list there. Once you've got that set up, and then we're going to send a body request. All of this information just comes from their documentation in the API documentation. The next step is a wait node, and what we do, we'll wait for 30 seconds. Then it's going to try and get the video. This is a HTTP request again to Kie.ai, but this time it's a GET request, and we just need to set this up like we have here. Making sure you've changed the dynamic value on there. If you're setting this up yourself, you need to put that. You put your task ID in there. And what happens? We've got a switch node now. If the state of it is equal to success, then it will pass it on. If it contains n, so if it's still processing, then what will happen? It will loop back round, and then if there's an error, it will update the sheet as though there is an error. You can see this run was successful, so it's got that line down there is green, so we've been successful, and then we double click. Now what's happening here, connecting to the Google account. This time it will be to append or update a row, same spreadsheet as before. And now we want to use, so with the values to send, is the one we've got here is ID, which is what we're using to match on. That's coming down from here. On our spreadsheet we've got an ID. We drag and drop that over here. We're going to match on that column. We're going to update the video status to done, and then the video URL that's come from here. So we can just drag that over. So quite a simple workflow. You could make some changes to this to get the videos that you wanted to output, changing that prompt that's inside the agent there. And you could also expand on this workflow. You could perhaps have this on Telegram. You could be putting images within the sheet and changing the model that the HTTP request go to. So if you have a look on Kie.ai's documentation, we got text to video and image to video. We could also put some reference images in there if you wanted to do something with that. But if you just let me know in the comments if you've got any ideas, things that you'd either like to see me create and do with a workflow, or any ideas that you have for yourself. I'd love to see the results you make. Please feel free, leave them in the comments, DM me. If you want a copy of this template, I'll make it available. I'll put the link down below. Hope you have a great rest of your day.